Hello everyone and welcome to Friday Night Basketball here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster and thank you for joining us tonight in our first broadcast of 2014. I hope you had a great 2013 and are off to a good start here in 2014. Our matchup here tonight is the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans, ranked 5th in the state, taking on Teutopolis, ranked 8th in the state. St. Joe comes in with a record of 14-2. Teutopolis comes in with a record of 10-4. St. Joe's had a busy week as they defeated Clifton Central 55-51 on Tuesday night, and then played on Wednesday night against Iroquois West. They defeated them 78-49. Teutopolis lost on Tuesday night to Mattoon 72-57. As they're announcing the starting lineups right now, Michael Drays, a 5'8" sophomore guard for Teutopolis.
At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 14, Brock Meddy.
Also a 6'1" junior, number 14, Brock Meddy.
At forward, a 6'1" senior, number 24, Bobby Winthy.
Bobby Winthy, a 6'1" senior, also on the starting lineup here for the Wooden Shoes of Teutopolis.
Number 34,
Reed Hardiek. That's H-A-R-D-I-E-K, Hardiek.
Number 50, Brett Meddy.
And then Brett Meddy
The Wooden Shoes are coached by
rounds up the starting lineup here for the Wooden Shoes. Again, coming in with a 10-4 record. They are coached by Andy Fehrenbacher. Assistant coaches are Troy Bierman, Austin Robinson, and Mike Wilson. Again, 10-4, lost to Mattoon 72-57 on Tuesday night. Number 8 at the state at the beginning of this week. And now we're about ready to hear the starting lineup for the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans. Again, number 5 in the state coming in, playing their third game in 4 days. And we're going to hear the starting lineup now for the Spartans.
As they'll enter tonight's contest with an overall record of 14 wins and 2 losses.
14-2, as we told you, the record for St. Joe.
At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 23, Nate Michael.
Starting off the starting lineup, number 23, Nate Michael, a guard here for the Spartans. 6'2" senior, son of Tom Michael, who played at the U of I. Jake Stewart, number 22, also in the starting lineup.
A 6'1" senior, number 15,
Dalton Walsh.
a 6'3" senior, number 1,
Another senior,
Hunter.
6'3" Hunter Hart. A baseball scholarship to play at the University of Indiana for Hunter.
Senior, number 35, Brent Schluter.
And then Brent Schluter rounding out the starting lineup for your Spartans. So we've got Brent Schluter, Nate Michael, Jake Stewart, Hunter Hart, and Dalton Walsh for the Spartans. And for Teutopolis, we have Michael Drees, Brock Meddy, Bobby Winthy, Reed Hardiek, and Brett Meddy. So that's a starting lineup as we're about ready to tip things off here tonight in St. Joe. HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster, ready to get things going in 2014. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast in 2013, and we're looking forward to bringing you many more here in 2014. So we're just getting started here in the basketball season on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. And here we go. The tip is up, and it's going to be brought down by the Wooden Shoes from Teutopolis. And Michael Drays, the point guard, will set up the offense here for the Wooden Shoes. Gets it out there on the wing. Now back to the top of the key there to Brett Meddy. Now he gives it there to the top of the key, and they find inside Michael Drees on a nice cut. They found him wide open underneath, and he puts it in. So 2-0 Wooden Shoes here early on in St. Joe. Just underway, 30 seconds into the ball game. St. Joe now trying to respond on the other end with a basket of their own. Nate Michael looks to the wing there. Finds Jake Stewart. Now back to the top of the key. Brent Schluter with the ball. On the far wing is Walsh. He's going to look to drive. Cut off, though, by the Wooden Shoe defense. Now back out there to Jake Stewart. He looks to drive. He pulls back, drops it off the glass. No good. And rebounded out by Teutopolis. Bobby Winthy brings that one down. So Michael Dries now bringing the ball down the floor. Over to Winthy. Now back at towards the top of the key there is Reed Hardiak. Hardiak is a 170-pound senior guard for the Wooden Shoes. Brett Meddy now over to Dries. Just kind of rotating at the top of the key. Very patient offense here so far for Teutopolis. Nearly a travel, but able to recover. That one's going to be knocked out of bounds by Nate Michael. So T-Town will inbound there after Michael knocked it out of bounds. Michael Dries with the ball. And they're just rotating here at the top of the key. A nice cut inside there by Teutopolis again. Reed Hardiak gets the same offensive score as their first time. Just a lot of cuts towards the basket. And they've got 2 baskets in a row. A steal here by Winthy as he was able to steal that pass. They were trying to go over the top there were the Spartans. Dries finds a man on the outside. A 3-point attempt is off the mark. And it's going to be brought out of there by the Spartans. Up ahead there is Jake Stewart. He looks to drive, but he's going to pull it out and slow things down now. So he gets it to Dalton Walsh there at the top of the key, and he's going to look to set up the offense. Now there's Stewart. Now Schluter with the ball. Schluter with a spin move, and then he's going to drive to the basket. He's cut off by Winthy, but Winthy's going to pick up a foul as he got him there with a blocking foul. So 4-0 is the score here in favor of Teutopolis. Brent Schluter looking to put the first points on the board for the Spartans, and he does. Schluter looking to connect on the second one, and he does. 2 points for Schluter, 4-2 now our score. This one thrown in the wing there and off the hands there of number 34, Reed Hardiak. So St. Joe will bring it back the other way now as Jake Stewart walks the ball up the floor for the Spartans. He's being guarded heavily there by Dries, but he's able to get it across the half-court line, and now St. Joe will look to set up the offense. 4-2 early on, about 2 minutes in here in St. Joe. Nice cut, wide open's Hunter Hart, and he puts it in for the basket. Good ball movement for the Spartans. Dries now looking to set up that offense here for the Shoes. There's a nice pass to the wing. He drives up, drives baseline, no good, as Brett Meddy tried to throw up a little floater and it was short off the rim. Nate Michael brings it down at Schluter at the top of the key. No good on the 3-point attempt, and it's brought down by Brett Meddy. Brett Meddy, one of the returning lettermen here for T-Town. There's a look inside by Winthy, and it's over the head of Brett Meddy, a little bit too far there. 4 returning lettermen for T-Town. They have Cody Will, Justin Kinter, Reed Hardiak, and Brett Meddy. Those are the 4 returning lettermen for the Wooden Shoes of Teutopolis. As they traveled from south here to St. Joe tonight, battled through a little bit of weather. Hopefully they'll have a safe trip home, as it's supposed to get a little bit worse as it gets later here tonight in Central Illinois. Inside to Schluter, a nice little spin move, but then he's cut off. Double team there by the Wooden Shoes, and then they throw it away. Good recovery on the defensive side by Teutopolis. There's Dries with the shot, no good. He tried a floater and just a short, maybe grazed the rim, but stolen there by Winthy now as St. Joe tried to hurry up and get a fast break opportunity, but it did not work out for them as Winthy was ready for the pass, and now he throws inside to Brett Meddy. Struggles, and then it's stolen here by Nate Michael, and he's going to go up off the glass, no good, and rebounded by Michael Dries. Some frantic action here. He gets it to the outside. There's a 3-point attempt by the Wooden Shoes, no good. That was Reed Hardiak, but it rebounded by Brett Meddy, no good. Off the mark again, now Dries down inside there. He's going to put it up off the glass, no good again, and it's going to stay here on this side. Nice work inside by Michael Dries, the smallest guy on the floor. 5'8", came down with that rebound, but unable to put the layup back in. So Teutopolis will throw it in and start all over again here. Now here on the near wing, now to the top of the key. There's Hardiak with the ball. He gets it to Dries at the top of the key. Dries looking inside, Mal back over to the far wing to Hardiak. Good ball movement here by the Wooden Shoes, again being patient. Now I look to drive here, and that's up off the glass and good. A nice strong drive by Brock Meddy. 3 baskets for the Wooden Shoes, all 3 of them layups. They've been a good job getting inside and penetrating the St. Joe defense so far. 6-4 our score in favor of Teutopolis. Again, 2 top 10 ranked teams here in Class 2A high school basketball here in Illinois. St. Joe number 5, Teutopolis number 8. Hunter Hart at the top of the key. Now back over to Dalton Walsh. He goes inside to Schluter. Schluter with a little bit of a hook shot. No good. Rebounded by Hart, though. Puts it up and in. Great job by Hunter Hart. He's very athletic. Very athletic. A little bit of aggressive on the defensive side there. Jake Pence, who's entered the game for the Spartans.
That's his first team foul.
So 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Dries with the ball, now over to Hardiak. Hardiak dribbling around the top of the key. He's guarded by Dalton Walsh. Hardiak now trying to set up the offense. He dribbles here towards the near side. Now he goes back up to the top of the key. Thrown in the corner to Winthy. Winthy thinks about a shot, and he's going to get it back up to Hardiak, and he's going to reset the offense. Winthy with a little bit of fake. Now a jump shot up off the mark and bounces in. A shooter's roll there for Bobby Winthy, and it's 8-6 in favor of Teutopolis. 4 baskets by 4 different players so far by the Wooden Shoes. On the Spartan side, 4 points for Hunter Hart and 2 for Schluter. There's a shot by Dalton Walsh, a 3-pointer, and it is good. Big shot by Walsh, 9-8 now as the Spartans take the lead by 1 on the 3-pointer there by Walsh. Hardiak now with the ball again at the top of the key. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter here. Winthy now with the ball. Brett Meddy with the ball. Now throws it to Brock Meddy. Dries now with the ball again. A very patient offense here for Teutopolis. A lot of cutting and diving to the baskets. And a lot of picks being set here. And there's a wide open look there for Hardiak, but it's off the mark and it's rebounded by Dalton Walsh. So Teutopolis got a good shot. They were patient and got Hardiak a good look at a 3-pointer, but off the mark. And now we're about 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. I assume St. Joe's going to hold for the last shot here, leading 9-8 over the Wooden Shoes. Spartans get it to Nate Michael now as we approach 10 seconds to go now. Now over to Dalton Walsh, now back to Michael. He's got an open look, and it is off the mark. And then it's going to be out of bounds and given to the Wood Shoes of Teutopolis with 1.8 seconds left. See if they can get a shot off before the buzzer here. Ball inbound to Winthy, and now back to Hardiak, and Hardiak's going to launch it off the mark, a little bit too strong. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. We have the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans 9 and the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to St. Joe. We're getting ready to start the second quarter here. 9-8 in favor of the Spartans as they lead the Wooden Shoes by 1 point. Just to run down the scoring real quick, we have Michael Drays with 2 points there in that first quarter. Brock Meddy with 2. We also had Bobby Winthy with 2. And Reed Hardiak with 2. So 4 baskets, 4 different players for the Wooden Shoes. On the St. Joe side, Hunter Hart scored 4 points. Walsh hit a 3-pointer. And Schluter put in 2 points of his own. Now Nate Michael with a 3-pointer in the corner, and it is good. So 12-8 as the Spartans come right out of the break and knock down a 3-pointer. Good pressure defense there by the Spartans. Jake Stewart. Dries had a little trouble getting it across the line, but he finally did. Nate Michael gets a hand on that one, knocked out of bounds. Defense really being very aggressive here by St. Joe here as we start the second quarter. Dries looking to drive. He's going to drop back and try to knock down a 3 off the mark. Battle inside, and ends up being tapped to Dalton Walsh as he grabs the rebound. Over to Stewart on the wing, back up to Schluter at the top of the key. He finds a man inside. It's up, no good. That was Tyler Harms trying to knock down a shot for the Spartans inside. Winthy with a spin move and then a scoop, but it's too hard off the glass. It's Bobby Winthy. Nice move, but just couldn't finish it off. Now St. Joe back on the offensive side. Nate Michael looking inside. Gets it to Schluter, who cuts up to the top of the key. Now over to Stewart on the other side. Back to Schluter. Now Nate Michael gets a pick from Schluter and then goes behind the back and then he's going to drop back and knock down that beautiful jump shot. That's great work by Nate Michael. A good dribbling move and then a drop back jumper from the elbow. A quick 5 points from him to open up the quarter, and it's 14-8 in favor of the Spartans. Dries inside now to the big man Meddy. A nice little hook move, a beautiful move there by Brett Meddy. His first basket. And now all 5 starters for Teutopolis have scored a basket, and they have 10 points as they've each scored 1 hoop. St. Joe now leading 14-10. Schluter over to Nate Michael. Picks up another pick, and then he's going to go hard to the basket, up off the glass, and it is good, and he's fouled. A beautiful move by Nate Michael. That's 2 times in a row now that Michael's picked up a pick from Schluter, and he's been able to knock down a 3, and he also is able to get to the hoop and get some harm there. Now we'll see if he knocks down the free throw. See, he was fouled there by Brock Meddy, and he knocks down the free throw. Michael opens up the quarter here, the second quarter, with 8 straight points to put St. Joe up 17-10. Wooden Shoes now back on offense. They have Ted Jansen in now, and also John Ungren. Couple of the first 2 subs of the game here for the Wooden Shoes. Brett Meddy looking to drive, and then he tries to throw it inside to Ungren, but it's knocked out of bounds by Jake Stewart. Up to the top of the key, Hardiak recovers it, and they're going to try to set up the offense. Knocked out of bounds. Jake Stewart's becoming a little bit of a pest to the Wooden Shoes here on defense. He's been all over the place. He's knocked several balls out of bounds. Now a little bit of offensive confusion there by Teutopolis, and not very happy is the Teutopolis coach, Andy Fehrenbacher. He calls a timeout. So 8 straight points for the Spartans as they lead 17-10. 8 straight points for Nate Michael to start the quarter. Very impressive start. A 3-pointer to start it off, and then a jumper from the elbow, and then a layup, and he converted the free throw to make the 3-point play. While we have a minute here, 17-10, 5 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here in the first half on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Just wanted to give a little shout out and wonder if you ever dreamed of owning a Major League Baseball club. Well, Pennant Wars puts you in charge of your own baseball franchise and its engaging online universe. Call the shots as a GM on your own baseball franchise. There's freakishly real sim engine delivers pitch-by-pitch game results. Watch your team grow and develop season after season. Nothing to download or to install. Play anywhere you have an internet connection. It's free to try. Just go to HSSPORTSLIVE.NET and click on the Pennant Wars logo to try your free trial today. Now back to the action here in St. Joe. Nate Michael with the drive, then he dishes it to the outside, and then a shot up is around and good, and a foul. So that's Tyler Harms, gets it to roll around and in, and he's going to try to convert the second consecutive three-point play here for the Spartans. And it is good. An impressive start here by the Spartans as they've outscored T-Town 11-2 here in the second quarter. Justin Kinter now in for T-Town, and they get a pass inside. A good job getting back into the big man, Brett Meddy. (20-12) now our score. Jake Pence with the ball, gets it over to Nate Michael. Michael looking to get a pick from Hunter Hart, and he does, and Hart goes to the basket, but he's going to pick up a charge. A nice roll by Hart, but good defensive position there by the Wooden Shoes as Hart picked up a charge. Bobby Winthy back in the game for Teutopolis as Ted Jansen takes a seat for the Wooden Shoes. There's Brett Meddy with another drive to the basket and a nice grip of the ball there as he just palmed that thing and brought it right up. Only a sophomore is Brett Meddy, and he's impressed here in the second quarter. Couple of nice quick baskets to get Teutopolis within 6. A three-point attempt by Nate Michael is off the mark. And now Hardiak will bring the ball up for Teutopolis. He's going to look to drive, and he finds Brett Meddy. He's going to take a three this time. This one rolls around, no good. Rebounded out of there by Ungrind. Back out to Hardiak. He's going to take a spin, keeps his pivot foot. And now there could be, he gets it over to Winthy now, and they're going to try to reset the offense. A pick set there by Justin Kinter. Kinter with the ball now. Dribbles it to the far side. Knocked away by Michael, but Kinter recovers. Back to Hardiak. 20-14 our score. 3 minutes to go here in the first half in St. Joe. Winthy with a nice catch on the baseline and goes to the hoop and scores. Nice delivery there by Teutopolis to get it down into the baseline, and Winthy was able to finish it off with a nice, strong basket. And now a steal here by Kintner. And Hardiak now with the ball for the Wooden Shoes. 20-16 the score. A three-point attempt here is good. Justin Kintner with a three-pointer by Teutopolis, and all of a sudden we have a 20-19 ball game. That timeout called by Coach Andy Fehrenbacher has certainly worked wonders for the Wooden Shoes. If they've gone on an 8-0 run since then and make that a 9-0 run. So we're going to take a quick break here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. St. Joe leads Teutopolis 20-19. All right, we are back here in St. Joe. A tight ball game here, 20-19 with 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. And a beautiful play out of the timeout for St. Joe as they found a cutting Jake Stewart on the far side, but he was unable to put the layup in for the Spartans. So now Teutopolis with a chance to regain the lead after being down 20-10 just a few minutes ago. But a nice little run here after the timeout called by Andy Fehrenbacher. And now Teutopolis gets it to inside, and a nice hard drive Reed Hardiak goes hard to the basket. That's his second hoop of the night. He's got 4, and it's 21-20 now in favor of the Wooden Shoes. This SJO fans starting to chant now, trying to get their team pumped back up here, as they trail 21-20 with a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Inside to Schluter. He's going to take a jump shot from the middle of the lane, and it is good. Rattles around and in. Teutopolis brings the ball quickly back, gets it to Brett Meddy. Now over to Ungren on the far side. Ungren now at the top of the key, getting some instructions from Coach Fehrenbacher. Now he gets it over to Kintner. Kinter gets it over to Hardiak now. Hardiak now looking to pass inside there to Meddy, but he's covered. Now Brett Meddy at the top of the key looking inside himself. Patient turn on offense here for Teutopolis. Ungren with the ball now on the wing. He's going to look to drive, then he gets it over to Kintner. Kintner with a drive, puts it up off the board, no good. Goes hard for the rebound, does Brett Meddy, but St. Joe comes down with it. Gets it over there on the far side. A nice look inside for Schluter. Harms had a shot, but he looked for Schluter and was unable to come down with it. And Teutopolis was able to steal it away. Brett Meddy now with the ball. And the Coach Fehrenbacher is going to call a timeout, as we've got 19.4 seconds left to go here in the first half. Fehrenbacher wants to talk about it. He's going to try to set up a play here in this last 20 seconds.
Number 5, Jake Pence.
So 22-21 in favor of the Spartans. They came roaring out in the second quarter. They led 9-8 after one quarter, but then 8 straight points by the Spartans put them up 17-8, and then they were up 20-10. But then Teutopolis came roaring back themselves and put a little bit of a 11-0 run together themselves to get it to 21-20. And now St. Joe back on top, but just by 1. And Teutopolis trying to set up a play here for the final 20 seconds of the first half. Again, you're watching us on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I am Chris Foster, our first basketball broadcast of 2014. Let's see what happens here in the last 20 seconds here. It's Michael Drees back in the ballgame for Teutopolis. Gets it to Hardiak. Now about approaching 10 seconds on the clock now. That's Todd Jansen. No, that's not Jansen. I'm sorry. Brock Meddy with the ball. Now Hardiak with the curl. Blocked away, though, by Dalton Walsh. Now up ahead, and it's going to be no good as time expires. Good defense on the Spartans there in that last 20 seconds. And our halftime score here in St. Joe, 22-21 in favor of the Spartans. A whale of a ball game so far. We can only hope that the second half is as good as the first one. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we'll be right back here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Hello everyone and welcome back to St. Joe. We're about ready to get things underway here in the second half. The St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans, ranked number 5 in the state, lead the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes, ranked number 8 in the state, 22-21. By the narrowest of margins, the Spartans are on top. Let's look at the scoring here in the first half. On the St. Joe side, they were led by Nate Michael as he scored 8 straight points to start the second quarter. To have all, and that's the amount of points he has right now is 8 points. Brent Schluter has 4, Hunter Hart has 4, Dalton Walsh has 3, and Tyler Harms came off the bench to score 3 points himself. So 3 points off the bench for the Spartans. On the Teutopolis side, Michael Dries, their point guard, had 2 points. Brock Meddy had 2 points. Bobby Winthy had 4 points. Reed Hardiak had 4 points. And then the impressive sophomore Brett Meddy had 6 points, and then off the bench for them 3 points as well. That was Justin Kintner, who knocked down a 3-pointer. So we're getting ready to start the second half here, and here we go. Teutopolis will come out with the ball as Dries is going to look to set up some offense. He drives, kicks it to the outside, and a quick drive to the basket there, and it's in and out and no good. It was unable to get it to fall there was Brock Meddy. This one goes off the hands of Hunter Hart, and it'll come right back towards St. Joe. Hardiak now gets the ball to the top of the key to Brock Meddy. Back out to Brock Meddy, now to the Dries at the top of the keys, looking inside for Brett Meddy. A look inside by Winthy, nice pass, and he finds Meddy inside for a basket. A beautiful pass by Bobby Winthy. 23-22 now, the lead for Teutopolis. Schluter with a little bit of a spin move and then a hook shot off the mark, rebounded up there by Hunter Hart, and no good, but he's fouled there by Brett Meddy. Good work inside by Hunter Hart.
Fouls on number 50, Brett Meddy.
And he'll go to the line looking to add to his total of 4 points on the evening. Around and out, no good.
Number 1, Hunter Hart.
So Hunter will look to knock down the second one now. And it is good. We have a tie ball game here in St. Joe. 23 all. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter, just underway in the second half. Teutopolis, a very, very patient basketball team on offense. A lot of ball movement by the Wooden Shoes inside to Brett Meddy. He's going to try to go up, but it's blocked away by Schluter, but Meddy recovers and is able to get it in. They're having problems with Meddy now as he's got 10 points now, 2 straight baskets here to start off the second half. Dalton Walsh looks to knock down a 3 off the mark. Meddy unable to grab the rebound. Schluter comes up with it, and then Meddy fouls him. That's one way to get Meddy out of the game, is to get him into some foul trouble.
Foul on number 50, Brett Meddy. That's his third.
So 3 fouls now, and all of a sudden Meddy, who only had 1 foul, picked up 2 quick ones, and he's quickly in foul trouble. So that could be a big factor here in how this game unravels in the second half. As Brett Meddy came out and asserted himself on the offensive side with 2 quick baskets. But then he picks up 2 quick fouls as well. And he'll have to go to the bench for a little bit of a rest. Schluter knocked down the first, and this one is short, and it's rebounded by Bobby Winthy. Inside, wide open. Justin Kinter knocks it down. As the Spartans fell asleep on defense that time down the floor. And stolen by Teutopolis here. As Hardiak comes up with the ball and he calls a timeout. A timeout by Teutopolis. 5:54 left to go here in the third quarter. 24-27. Teutopolis now leads by 3. Real quick, I'd like to again talk about Pennant Wars. If you ever dreamed of owning your own Major League Baseball club, well, Pennant Wars puts you in charge of your own baseball franchise in its engaging online universe. You can call all the shots as the GM of your own baseball team. It's got freakishly real sim engine that delivers pitch-by-pitch game results. You can watch your team grow and develop season after season. Nothing to download or install, no credit card required. You can play anywhere you have an internet connection. It's absolutely free to try, so go to HSSPORTSLIVE.NET, click on the Pennant Wars logo, and start your free trial today. Back here now to basketball action, 5:54 left to go, just about 2 minutes into our third quarter. Teutopolis is on top 27-24. As the Spartans called a timeout to talk about things. And Teutopolis now will bring the ball up the floor. Michael Dries, the point guard, gets it to the wing there to Brock Meddy, and he has to throw it away, and it's going to be Schluter who comes up with it, and he goes up, puts it off the glass, and scores. Careless offense there by Teutopolis. Gives St. Joe an easy basket, and they're back within one. A nice look inside to Dries, but it's blocked by the Spartans, and now get it ahead to Brock Meddy. He's going to be called for a charge. Good defensive position there by Dalton Walsh. And good defense inside as well by Jake Stewart. So the block by Stewart leads to a charge picked up by Dalton Walsh. Good defense there by the Spartans. And they're going to look to regain the lead this time down the floor. Stewart being guarded by Dries. Dries gets picked off there. They get inside to Schluter. Turn off the mark, but he gets it up, puts it up, and scores. Brent Schluter all of a sudden inserting himself on the offensive side. Bobby Winthy looking to drive. Now he pulls it back up, and they're going to reset the offense. St. Joe back on top now, 28-27. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Going to be call Winthy, it looks like, for a moving pick there on the baseline. As he moved a little bit to kind of swipe off that St. Joe defender to open up a three-point in the corner. But he gets called for the foul. That's his first foul. So St. Joe now will bring the ball up the floor. And a drive in by Stewart finds Walsh, and it's up off the glass and good. Good penetration by Jake Stewart. He found Walsh cutting to the basket, and he scores. 30-27 now as St. Joe now putting a little run together, but a three-point attempt here is off the mark. That was Reed Hardiak trying to hit the net from way downtown, but he could not come up with the basket. Inside there to Schluter. A nice move, but he's short on the layup, but he battles again, gets the rebound, and then it's finally brought down there by Brock Meddy. Frantic action here in the third quarter. Winthy with the drive, and he finds Hardiak on the outside. No good on the three there by Hardiak as he looked to try to knock down that deep shot, but unable to knock it down. Now down here on the baseline, Schluter gets back to the top of the key to Walsh. Now Nate Michael looking to go inside to Hart, and he seals out the defender and scores. It looked like Teutopolis was going to come away with the steal, but Hart was able to come up with it, seal off the defender, pivot, and put the hoop in for his 7th point of the night. St. Joe now up by 5, 32-27. This little run here by St. Joe keyed by the foul trouble of Brett Meddy. And another charge there as Bobby Winthy picks up a charge. Teutopolis had built about a 4-point lead when Brett Meddy picked up his 3rd foul, and since he's gotten to the bench, St. Joe has taken a little bit of control here in this game. They now lead by 5, 32-27, and they've been doing a lot on the defensive end. Some block shots, some charges picked up. Very aggressive on both sides of the ball here have been the Spartans. They're going to look to build on the 5-point lead here with about 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Walsh looks for Hart at the free throw line. He fakes, then he finds a Schluter inside. He scores, and he's fouled. Beautiful work and ball movement by the Spartans. A great look inside by Walsh. Schluter puts it in, picks up the harm. He's got 11 points now, and he's going to look to make it 12. Shot up and good. So now 35-27 our score. St. Joe up by 8, an 11-0 run by the Spartans. Teutopolis trying to calm things down here and settle down and get a nice, easy basket here. As they've fallen behind by 8 very quickly. Dries now at the top of the key. Gets it over to Jansen, who's in the game now. He nearly travels. But the ref said he didn't pick up his pivot foot. It was awful close. Jansen with the ball again. He's going to look to drive, and he's going to get it back to Dries. Nothing doing on offense here as St. Joe's just pretty much forcing a stalemate as Teutopolis can't get the ball in. But there's a nice cut. Jansen goes up off the glass, but he's fouled by Schluter. Crowd doesn't like it as Schluter was looking for the block. Jansen will go to the free throw line. Try to stop the bleeding here for the wooden shoes of Teutopolis. No good on the first one.
Number 42, Ted Jansen. In for T-Town, number 4, John Undren.
Second one underway is no good. Jansen misses them both. Michael looking to drive, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul, it looks like. They got him for a push. Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter Hart they call for the foul.
2 team fouls on the Spartans.
So Teutopolis will now bring the ball back again, looking to put up their first basket in quite a while as Reed Hardiak's looking to find something inside on the offensive side for the wooden shoes. Justin Kintner with the ball. This one's going to be stolen away by Dalton Walsh. Walsh now gets it to Nate Michael, and then he finds Hunter Hart. Hart drives to the basket. It's up off the glass and scores. 10 points now for Hunter Hart, and a 10-point lead for the Spartans. Dries gets it over to Hardiak. And they find a man open on the outside. It's a three-pointer for Brock Meddy. So that'll stop the bleeding for the wooden shoes as it's now 37-30 as they cut that 10-point lead down to 7. Now a look inside, a beautiful pass to Schluter. Great look inside by Nate Michael. 39-30 the score. Teutopolis just trying to get to the fourth quarter there so they can get their big man Brett Meddy back in the game. He picked up his third foul early in the third quarter, and Coach Fehrenbacher's decided to sit him on the bench for the rest of the quarter here. We got 30 seconds remaining, 39-30 the score. St. Joe in control of this third quarter. They led by 1 at halftime. Teutopolis came out and quickly built a 4-point lead in this quarter, but since then it's been all St. Joe. Now 10 seconds to go now. Brock Meddy with the ball at the top of the key being guarded by Hunter Hart. 7 seconds to go. He's going to look to drive. He puts up a little bit of a floater off the mark. No good. Dries trying to come up with it. Puts it up. No good. And that's going to be how the third quarter ends. 39-30 in favor of the Spartans from St. Joe. We'll be right back with the final quarter in about 30 seconds. Welcome back to St. Joseph-Ogden High School. We're on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster. Thank you for tuning in on this broadcast tonight. 39-30, the Spartans, ranked number 5 in the state of Illinois in Class 2A, lead the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes, ranked number 8 in Class 2A. Spartans led by 1 at halftime, but added 8 more points onto the lead in that third quarter, keyed by when Brett Meddy from Teutopolis picked up his 3rd foul. And then Schluter went off after that, and he drives in again and tries to pick up where he left off. Puts it back, no good again. Still recovered, though, as Stewart finds Nate Michael. He's going to launch a 3 off the mark, and then rebounded by Hardiak, and they're going to call him for travel. He came down hard in traffic, and he fell down, and they call him for a travel. Tough call, but he lost his footing. St. Joe's going to look to capitalize here. Jake Stewart gets inside to Schluter, and he knocks it down. 15 points now for Schluter, and Teutopolis has no answer right now for him. And Meddy, who is in foul trouble, doesn't want to be too aggressive on the defensive side against Schluter, or he won't be around for the fourth quarter here. Brock Meddy picks up his dribble, gets it over to Hardiak. Hardiak now looking inside here, gets it back over to Brock Meddy. He's going to take a 3, and it is good. That's the second one by Brock Meddy. This one is knocked out of bounds. Good hustle there by Brandon Winthy. It's going to stay on the St. Joe side. 41-33, the Spartans lead by 8. Under 7 minutes left to go here in our ball game. Fourth quarter action in St. Joe. 2 top 10 ranked teams in the state of Illinois duking it out. Tyler Harms now with the ball. Gets it to Nate Michael on the outside. He fades away and misses the jumper. And now Michael Dries will bring it up for Teutopolis. Pass inside, way too high. Miscommunication there between Dries and Meddy, but then this one's thrown off of the hands of Stewart. Looked like he might have got a save there, but they said he stepped on the line. Good hustle by Jake Stewart. We're going to come back the other way, 41-33. There's Brock. Meddy gets it up to Hardiak. And another 3. Third 3 in a row by Brock Meddy. He's got 11 now, and it's 41-36 now. The lead down to 5 for St. Joe. A good drive inside and puts it in. 17 for Schluter right now, and they cannot stop him on the inside. And you can see Brett Meddy's very tentative on the defensive side ever since he picked up that 3rd foul. Brock drives in off the glass and scores. And now it's Brock Meddy picking up things as his brother Brett had 10 points early, but now Brock leads them with 13. The Meddy brothers, I'm assuming they're brothers, I can't say that for sure. Nice look as he finds Harms on the opposite side, and he goes off and scores. It's 5 for Harms, back to a 7-point lead for St. Joe. Inside to Winthy. Winthy looking. He drives in off of Harms, up off the glass, and scores. Good basketball here in the fourth quarter. Both teams playing very good offense right now. Backing down was Winthy there as he used a little bit of his body there to get in and knock down an easy basket. There's a 3-point attempt by Stewart, and it is good. First basket of the game for Stewart, and that builds an 8-point lead for the Spartans, and Dries throws it out of bounds again. That's 2 times now that Dries has done that. Him and Meddy obviously miscommunicating. Coach Andy Fehrenbacher is very upset. When you're down by 8 points on the road to a very good ball club, you can't make mistakes like that. So we'll see what Teutopolis now picks up about 3/4 court now. Not really a press, but they're picking up the defensive pressure a little early. Harms with the ball now, gets it over to Schluter on the wing. Schluter looking inside. Now he's going to drive. Back up top there to Pence. Now Harms at the top of the key. He's going to take a shot from the elbow, and it is good. Harms with his second consecutive basket. That's 7 points now for Tyler Harms, and the lead is back to 10, 50-40 the score. We're going to take a quick break here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET and be back with the conclusion. Welcome back to St. Joseph-Ogden High School. 4 minutes and 8 seconds showing on the game clock. St. Joe 50, Teutopolis 40. St. Joe led by 1 at halftime, and now they've built a 10-point lead. It's been a back and forth fourth quarter. Teutopolis made a little bit of a run to cut it down to 6, but St. Joe's built it back to 10 now. Michael Dries brings the ball up for Teutopolis. Gets it to Brett Meddy, now inside to Winthy. Back up to Brett Meddy. He's looking inside. Gets it to Dries. Dries with a little bit of a pass out to Winthy, and he's going to drive in a nice scoop shot and scores. Impressive looking drive there by Bobby Winthy. He's got great ball control. When he gets up in the air, he's able to scoop that ball with his arm and loft it into the basket there. Down in the corner there for the Spartans is Jake Pence. Now over to Harms, who scored a couple of baskets here in the fourth quarter for the Spartans. He's got 7. There's Hunter Hart. He's looking to drive. Gets it outside to Walsh. Dalton Walsh now. Quarterback from the runner-up football team for the Spartans. We're approaching 3 minutes to go here in St. Joe. 50-42, the Spartans on top. Back up to Pence, and now he gets it over to Schluter. Or Walsh, I'm sorry, now to Schluter. Just running some clock are the Spartans. Very patient. Harms now thinking about a 3. Gets it back out to Schluter. Now to Walsh. Now Harms is open. He's going to drive. Looks inside for Hunter Hart, but he's fouled by Brock Meddy. Great job by the Spartans. Very patient on offense. Good ball movement. Running clock. And then picks up a foul there by Meddy. That's his third foul. Brock Meddy. Brett Meddy also has 3 fouls. There's a 3-point free throw attempt by Hart. No good. Hart's got 10 points on the night. He's a wide receiver on the football team, a 6'3", 180-pound senior. Scholarship to play baseball at the University of Indiana. He's going to be a pitcher. Very impressive athlete as he knocks that one down. 11 points now for him, 51-42. St. Joe on top by 9. Dries finds a Brock Meddy cutting around, and he gets it into Brett Meddy. He's going to back down and goes up and scores. Haven't heard from him in a little while, but they get it back to Brett Meddy, and now a steal here is Michael Dries. He's going to try to bring things back and set things up for Teutopolis again. They've got it down to 7, 51-44, 2 minutes and 15 seconds on our game clock. Gets it over to Dries. Dries looks inside to Brett Meddy, goes up off the glass, scores, and he's fouled. They're going back to Brett Meddy. Once again, they've gone away with him. He had to go out with foul trouble. And then once he came in, it was Brock Meddy doing some of the scoring, but another basket by Brett. He's now got 14, looking for 15, and looking to cut this lead to 4. And it's good. 15 points now for Brett Meddy. Brock has 13, and our score 51-47. Things tightening up quickly here. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the ball game. St. Joe with the ball now. Nate Michael. Oh, I'm sorry, not Nate Michael. Jake Stewart. Stolen by Michael Dries. He's thinking about going, and he goes up off the glass and scores. Michael Dries has cut the lead to 2, 51-49, and now Teutopolis putting on some full court pressure. Brock Meddy guarding Nate Michael there. Hunter Hart now on the wing. Gets it up there to Stewart. Now Schluter here on the near side. Back up to Nate Michael at the top of the key. 51-49 our score. A minute and a half left to go in St. Joe. Hunter Hart from the free throw line, and he knocks it down. A clutch shot by Hunter Hart. Came right off the curl and knocked the shot down right at the free throw line. A crucial possession here for Teutopolis as they can't come away empty-handed. They go inside to Brett Meddy, and he scores. A beautiful pass inside, lofted way up. 53-51 the score, 17 points for Meddy. We got a minute left to go here in St. Joe. Spartans do have the ball, a 2-point lead, 1 minute to go. And it's living up to its billing, folks. Number 5 against number 8, and it's been a great ball game. Both teams have made back and forth runs. Hunter Hart looking to drive. He goes up, no good, and Winthy brings down the rebound. A chance for Teutopolis to tie or take the lead. 42 seconds left to go here in St. Joe. Michael Dries brings the ball up, and he gets it there to Hardiak on the wing, and it's going to be a timeout for Coach Andy Fehrenbacher. 34.7 seconds on the clock. I would not doubt it if Teutopolis runs clock and decides to take the last shot of regulation here. A very good and exciting ball game here in St. Joe. St. Joe looked to have things well in hand as it was 50-40 not that long ago. But an 11-3 run by Teutopolis, and we now have a 53-51 score. T-Town down by 2 with only 34 seconds on the clock, and they do have the ball. Kind of look at some of the totals here while we're in timeout. Hunter Hart with 13 for the Spartans. Dalton Walsh has 5. Nate Michael with 8. All 8 of those points right out of right at the start of the second quarter. He went on an 8-point barrage, but we haven't heard from him since. Brent Schluter, the big guy for the Spartans tonight, he's got 17. Jake Stewart, 3. Tyler Harms with 7 off the bench. On the Teutopolis side, Michael Dries with 4 points, including that great steal and layup that we had just a minute ago. Brock Meddy has 13. Bobby Winthy, 8. Brett Meddy, 17. Reed Hardiak, 4. And Josh Kinter with 5 points off the bench. So here we go, 34.7 on the clock, 53-51. St. Joe up by 2 over Teutopolis. We'll see what Coach Andy Fehrenbacher drew up here for the Wooden Shoes as Dries will bring the ball up. He's being guarded there by Jake Stewart. Now he gets it over to Meddy. Dries looking to drive. Stops and gets it back out to Hardiak. A scary looking move there, but he did not travel. And he was kind of down amongst the trees, but he's able to get it out to Hardiak. Now Dries running around. They can't get the ball back to the point guard, and they're going to have to call a timeout. They don't have a timeout left. It appears they do not have a timeout left. That's going to be a crucial call. Teutopolis was out of timeouts, and Reed Hardiak called the timeout anyways, and that's going to be a technical foul against Teutopolis for calling a timeout when they didn't have one. Nate Michael's going to take the free throw shot, and it is good. It's actually quite disappointing to see a game this good end in this kind of fashion. But a shot right here by Michael, and that could be the dagger against the Wooden Shoes. 55-51 now, the 4-point lead. St. Joe calls a timeout now. So Teutopolis with the ball with 11 seconds in the game. Clock was ticking. There wasn't really anything going on offense. They couldn't get the ball back to their point guard, Dries. But then they called a timeout, and they did not have a timeout. So they received a technical foul. St. Joe's Nate Michael knocked down both of the free throws, and now St. Joe leads by 2. To make it 55-51. And as I said, just as a fan of basketball in general, very disappointing to see a game come down to the last seconds and then have it possibly end on something like that. Of course, reminds many basketball fans of the Chris Webber play back in the Michigan days of the Fab Four. Michigan had the ball in similar situation, down by 1 point, a chance to win the national title. He called the timeout when they didn't have one, and that sealed Michigan's fate. We still do have 11 seconds to go, although the task a lot harder now for the Wooden Shoes. St. Joe will inbound now after the technical free throws. They also do get the ball. Dalton Walsh looking to inbound, looking to get it in, having a little bit of trouble. He's going to call a timeout, and he gets it. So another timeout called by the Spartans. 11.4 again on our game clock. St. Joe by 4, looking to finish off this victory. It's been a very entertaining ball game, a game of runs. St. Joe led by 1 at halftime. They came roaring out of the second quarter and built an 8-point lead, but then Teutopolis battled back, and St. Joe only led by 1 at halftime. St. Joe built a 10-point lead here just moments ago. It's 50-40, but now our score 55-51 as Teutopolis made a run of their own. But then the timeout call when they didn't have one to pick up the technical looks to be what might be sealing the fate of the Wooden Shoes of Teutopolis. They made a long trip up north here tonight to face the Spartans. It'll be a long bus ride home if this ends up the way that the scoreboard shows right now for the Wooden Shoes of T-Town. St. Joe comes back out of the huddle now. Again, 55-51 our score. St. Joe by 4, 11.4 seconds remaining. Thank you for joining us tonight here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. A quick inbound to Nate Michael, and he's fouled by Brock Meddy. Nate Michael has 10 points now. Just knocked down the 2 technical free throws a minute ago. He's going to knock down 2 more. Very solid free throw shooter is Nate Michael. Shot is up and good. Nate Michael came into this game averaging 18.6 points on the season. He's knocked down 32 three-pointers on the season as well. Both of those are good. So 12 points for Michael, and then a steal here. And that's going to be it here in St. Joe as the ball was stolen. Now it's Winthy who gets it, launches it from half court. No good. And that's going to be our final score, 57-51. The St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans defeat the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes by 6. A great ball game. Comes down to a fourth quarter play where the Teutopolis calls a timeout when they didn't have one and picked up a technical. And that really ended up being the dagger for the Wooden Shoes as they were only down 2 at that time and had a chance to possibly take the lead or tie the ball game and send us into overtime. But a good ball game here in St. Joe. Again, 57-51 Spartans. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back to wrap things up. This game was not 0-0. 57-51 was our final score. St. Joe defeated Teutopolis. They clear the scoreboard pretty quickly here in St. Joe. Teutopolis was down 53-51 with the ball with about 11 seconds to go in the ball game, but they called a timeout and they were out of timeouts. Thus, Teutopolis got a technical foul. Nate Michael knocked down a pair of free throws. They got the ball. He was fouled again. Nate Michael knocked down 2 more free throws. 57-51 was our final score. Let's just quickly look at the scoring totals here. Hunter Hart finished with 13 points for the Spartans. Dalton Walsh had 5. Nate Michael finished with 12. Brent Schluter had 17. Jake Stewart 3. And Tyler Harms had 7 points off the bench for the Spartans. Their record goes now to 15-2 on the season. 15-2. So impressive record so far this season by the Spartans. On the T-Town side, Michael Dries had 4 points, Brock Meddy 13, Bobby Winthy 8, Brett Meddy 17, Reed Hardiak had 4 points, and Josh Kinter came off the bench to score 5. Teutopolis will fall to 10-5 now on the season. So 5 losses for them, but they've lost to some good competition, and they played a great game here tonight on the road in St. Joe. They battled back, got within 2, just unfortunately made a mistake there on the timeout, but a great ball game here in St. Joe. Thank you for tuning in here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Again, I am Chris Foster. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If you'd like to watch this game again, please just check out our website at HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Again, our final score is St. Joe 57, Teutopolis 51. We'll see you next week on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET.